For decades, we've been told a singular, restrictive narrative about Mars, a dead, rusty planet, once wet, but now lifeless. Every image released by NASA, every data point transmitted by a rover, is carefully curated to reinforce this official doctrine. But what if the truth about Mars is not merely that it harbored life, but that it was once the home of a massive, technologically advanced civilization, a civilization whose monumental ruins still stand, waiting to be acknowledged? Today, we present 10 undeniable proofs of ancient cities on Mars, anomalies in structures so artificial, so geometrically precise, that they shatter the narrative of natural erosion. We expose the systematic campaign by NASA and affiliated agencies to discredit these discoveries, to degrade the evidence, and to erase the terrifying implication that our human history is dwarfed by the ruins of a civilization that died long before ours began. This is not speculation. This is forensic evidence from the Red Planet, and the shocking story of how the very institution charged with discovering life is actively engaged in concealing the greatest discovery of all time. 1. The Cydonia Face. Initial discovery. Documented in 1976 by the Viking 1 orbiter, the Cydonia region revealed a massive, kilometer-long mesa shaped undeniably like a humanoid face, complete with distinct eye sockets, a nose, and a mouth. The undeniable feature. The key feature is the bilateral symmetry and the strategic orientation. The structure is situated to align with the Martian equinoxes and other specific features, suggesting intelligent design rather than random wind erosion. Its monumental size implies it was built to last for eons. NASA's Suppression Act. Following the initial sensation, NASA swiftly explained the image as pareidolia, the human tendency to see faces in random patterns. Crucially, follow-up images released decades later, particularly by the Mars Global Surveyor, were either taken at a higher sun angle that washed out the shadows, or were rendered at a deliberately lower resolution, making the facial features indistinct and natural. Implications. The Grand Conspiracy. The Cydonia face suggests the Martian civilization was dedicated to monumental, symbolic architecture built on an epic scale, indicating a highly spiritual or politically centralized society. 2. The D&M Pyramid. Initial discovery. Also photographed by the Viking 1 orbiter in the Cydonia region, this structure sits geometrically close to the Cydonia face, forming a complex that suggests urban planning. The undeniable feature. The D&M pyramid is characterized by 5 distinct sides and exhibits highly precise geometric angles consistent with terrestrial pyramidal structures. Its sheer size and sharp, consistent angles defy geological explanations of wind-carved mesas. NASA's Suppression Act. NASA designated it as a natural formation of the Cydonian Mesa complex, emphasizing geological context rather than structural analysis. High-resolution images that could confirm the existence of stepped sides or internal structures have been conspicuously slow to be released or are dismissed as lighting artifacts. Implications. The Grand Conspiracy. The pyramid, sitting near the face, suggests the Martian city utilized sacred geometry and massive construction projects, mirroring early human civilizations, but on an impossibly larger and older scale. 3. The Martian monolith. Initial discovery. First photographed in 2007 by the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, MRO, a distinct, rectangular structure was found standing vertically on the surface of the Martian moon, Phobos. The undeniable feature. The structure possesses a near-perfect rectangular shape with distinct right angles, rising sharply from the otherwise irregular surface of the Moon. This is not a natural boulder. Its geometry suggests a construction designed for stability. NASA's Suppression Act. NASA claimed it was simply a large, naturally formed boulder casting a strong shadow. However, the dimensions and shape are inconsistent with typical ejecta from impact events. Furthermore, the space agency has avoided sending missions or probes to investigate Phobos directly, despite its unusual orbital characteristics. Implications thus, the grand conspiracy. The monolith suggests that the ancient Martians were an interstellar or spacefaring civilization, capable of constructing enormous artifacts or relays on their planetary moons. 4. The glassworm's Chalk tubes. Initial discovery. Images from the Curiosity rover in Gale Crater, and later follow-up images, documented numerous transparent, tube-like structures embedded in the Martian soil and rock formations. The undeniable feature: these formations are translucent, hollow, and appear to have consistent diameters and smooth internal surfaces, suggesting manufactured or biologically engineered piping. Some theories suggest they are remnants of advanced transport or irrigation systems. NASA's Suppression Act. NASA officially classified these as geological formations resulting from mineral depositions, often referring to them as veins or silica tubes. However, the sheer density and frequency of the tubes, combined with their highly artificial appearance, are downplayed in official press releases. Implications. The grand conspiracy. These tubes suggest the ancient Martians possessed advanced infrastructure and material science, potentially utilizing glass or silicate structures for water transport, or even enclosed habitat construction. 5. The Martian blueberries. Initial discovery. Discovered by the Opportunity rover in Meridiani Planum, the site was littered with millions of small, spherical, iron-rich concretions dubbed Martian blueberries. The undeniable feature: while officially determined to be hematite concretions formed naturally in water, the uniform size and dispersal pattern of the spheres across large distances, often clustered in seemingly deliberate patterns, has led fringe researchers to suggest they are manufactured ball bearings or industrial waste products. NASA's Suppression Act. NASA aggressively championed the geological explanation, using these spheres as the primary evidence for past water activity. Any questioning of their origin is instantly dismissed as misunderstanding basic geology, effectively shutting down further investigation into their clustering patterns. Implications: Shranan the Grand Conspiracy. If manufactured, these spheres suggest a massive, industrialized civilization with large-scale resource extraction and manufacturing capabilities. 6. The subterranean tunnels. Initial discovery: high-resolution mapping of Valles Marineris, the vast Martian canyon system, and other large faults revealed structured, often symmetrical openings along the canyon walls and fault lines. The undeniable feature: these openings appear to lead into vast, complex underground infrastructure. They are often geometrically regular, suggesting entranceways or ventilation shafts rather than simple cave entrances formed by erosion. They imply a massive, organized effort to build beneath the Martian surface. NASA's Suppression Act. NASA attributes these openings to lava tubes or tectonic collapse features. They have avoided sending rover missions into these vast systems, citing safety or navigational difficulties, thus ensuring the largest potential ruins remain unexplored. Implications: The Grand Conspiracy. The tunnels suggest the Martian civilization was forced underground, perhaps due to a catastrophic atmospheric or climatic event, and created massive protected cities beneath the surface. 7. The Martian tree trunks. Initial discovery, images taken of the Martian polar regions and steep dunes, particularly by the MRO, revealed dark, branching structures emerging from the ice and dust, resembling giant fossilized trees or fungi. The undeniable feature. The structures show consistent branching patterns, uniform height, and parallel organization, inconsistent with standard flow erosion or sublimation, ice turning directly into gas. The appearance of a massive, fossilized forest has been put forward. NASA's Suppression Act. NASA labeled them as sublimation fans or dune flows, claiming the patterns are created by carbon dioxide gas escaping from beneath the ice layer. They use computer modeling to demonstrate the natural process, without adequately explaining the branching consistency. Implications. The Grand Conspiracy. These structures suggest the existence of complex Martian flora, biological megastructures that were once dominant on the planet's surface before the catastrophe. 8. The spherical object. Initial discovery. Photographed by the Curiosity rover in 2014, a small, near-perfectly spherical object was found resting on the surface, clearly distinct from the surrounding soil. The undeniable feature. The object possesses an almost flawless spherical geometry and a smooth, metallic-looking surface. Highly reflective and uniform. The odds of a natural geological process creating such a perfect sphere are statistically low. NASA's Suppression Act. The object was quickly dismissed as a naturally formed iron meteorite or a geological concretion. Crucially, the rover was instructed to drive past the object without performing a chemical analysis or X-ray fluorescence, preventing definitive proof of its composition. Implications. The Grand Conspiracy. The sphere could be a piece of advanced Martian metallic machinery or a highly durable artifact left behind, suggesting a sophisticated industrial base. 9. The ancient fossilized skull, bison head. Initial discovery. In the 1970s, fringe analysts examining archival imagery from the Viking lander claimed to have found a fossilized structure that resembled the skull of a large animal, possibly a bison or similar terrestrial creature, embedded in the Martian soil. The undeniable feature. The shape showed detailed cranial features, eye sockets, and horn-like protrusions consistent with terrestrial vertebrate anatomy, suggesting not just microbial life, but advanced vertebrate life once roamed Mars. NASA's Suppression Act. The image was archived as geological noise and ignored for decades. When revisited, NASA provided minimal comment, focusing on the lack of clear resolution to dismiss the claim instantly. This contrasts sharply with the extensive coverage given to evidence of simple water flow. Implications. The Grand Conspiracy. This piece of evidence, if real, would prove that Mars hosted complex, large-scale biological evolution similar to Earth's, completely overturning the current paradigm of Martian biology. 10. Anomalous orbital mechanics of Phobos and Deimos. Initial discovery, data collected by various missions, including Mariner 9 and subsequent missions, revealed the unusual, almost perfect circular orbits of the two Martian moons, Phobos and Deimos. The undeniable feature. Analysis by Soviet and American scientists, including Dr. Iosif Shklovsky, suggested that the moon's orbital decay mechanics were inconsistent with natural, dense objects. Shklovsky infamously suggested they were hollow and possibly artificial, perhaps giant space stations or habitats. NASA's Suppression Act. NASA and global space agencies maintain the official position that the moons are captured asteroids. However, the unusual shape, low density, and the monolith structure fuel the conspiracy that these are not natural objects, and the official data is manipulated to hide their non-natural origin. Implications thrash the grand conspiracy. The artificiality of the moons would prove that the Martian civilization was not just planetary, but interstellar, possessing the technology to build colossal structures in orbit. The weight of this accumulated evidence is staggering. It is not just one unusual structure, but a pattern of monumental architecture, industrial artifacts, infrastructural remnants, and biological anomalies that stretch across the Martian surface and into its orbit. Why the systematic erasing of evidence? Why the low-resolution follow-up photos, the convenient geological dismissals, and the refusal to analyze key artifacts? The answer is terrifyingly simple. The discovery of an ancient, destroyed Martian civilization would trigger a global paradigm shift. It would shatter religious dogmas, destabilize political systems, and prove that Earth is neither unique nor historically significant. The relics of the Martian Empire are still there. They speak of a civilization that rose to incredible heights, perhaps built colossal monuments and interorbital stations, and then vanished, leaving behind a chilling warning. The official story of a dead, barren Mars is a lie constructed to maintain control. The real history of the solar system is waiting to be written by the evidence that NASA works tirelessly to suppress. Do you believe that all 10 of these distinct anomalies are merely the result of random wind and shadow? Or are they the undeniable proof that we are being deliberately deceived about the true history of our celestial neighbor? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications as we continue to expose the forbidden truths concealed in the archives of space exploration.